Hello everyone and welcome to our show Taste Love. My name is Zach Galliman and I'm going to be your cook for today. So today we're making a super simple but a super delicious dish, chicken noodle soup. So a lot of people think it's a lot more difficult than it really is to make a broth from scratch. So I'm going to start off with the broth and then move over to the soup. It's so versatile, you can use it for so many things and it freezes amazingly. So make a big batch and keep it in the freezer for whenever you need it. So let's start off with the ingredients you'll need for this dish. First of all, the most important part is the chicken, of course. So over here, you can see I've got some chicken pieces. These you can get at the butcher. You can ask them for chicken bones and there's still quite a lot of meat on here. You can see this one actually has a lot of meat. Usually it has less. But try to have a little bit of meat on it, just for the flavor of the meat. But mostly you just need the bones of the chicken. Then we have got some white rice noodles here. Yeah, so you can use any noodles. I like these noodles. I think they eat nicely with the chicken soup and they're very readily available here where I am. And then for the rest of the broth, we're going to use garlic cloves, an onion, carrot, and then some celery. This is like a thin-leafed one. I think in the Western countries we get a thicker one, but either one would work. Then over here, just some more chicken. So the reason I put them apart from each other, after you cook the broth with that, there will be no flavor in that chicken left. So we want that chicken flavor again and pieces of chicken. So that's why I'm going to cook this afterwards and put it into the broth. And then just a few spices. We're not going to go crazy with it. Bay leaves, black peppercorns, dried rosemary leaves, dried thyme leaves. So you can use the fresh thyme and the fresh rosemary if you like to. I actually prefer that. It's just a bit difficult to get here. This is easier. So just look at your measurements. You will use a little bit less of the dried one because this flavor is a bit more intense than if you use fresh rosemary or thyme. That's what we'll need for this dish. So let's get started. Literally for the assemble of the broth, which can't be easier. So you just need a stock pot or just a big enough pot, depending how big you want it, with some water in it. You can fill up with water again, see how much ingredients you are putting in. Let's first put in our garlic and the onions, the whole carrot, adding, and like half of the celery. Okay, and then the chicken. So now for our spices, like 3 bay leaves is enough. Then the thyme leaves, I'm gonna, about a teaspoon. And also your rosemary leaves, I'm gonna also take about a teaspoon, a little bit less even. And then the peppercorns, just a generous helping. Lastly, a little bit of salt. It's a good helping of salt in there. Those are all the ingredients you need for the broth. So now it's super easy. Put it on a low heat, just a little bit of a simmer, and you leave it. No lid on it, just leave it for about like 2 to 3 hours, I'd say. Okay, so now that we're still waiting for the broth of the chicken to finish, I'm just going to fry up some chicken. I'm going to go in with a little bit of oil. So now that our oil has reached the right temperature, I'm going to go in with some chicken. Listen to it. Yeah. Wait. So it's going to flash fry very quickly because I cut it quite finely, thinly. And then I'm just going to spice it a little bit with some salt, a little bit of cumin, and some pepper. Just keep an eye on it. It's going to go very quickly. You definitely don't want dried chicken, but you also don't want salmonella. Some of the smaller pieces should be done by now, so I'm just going to take them out so long, like that. It's like literally 2 minutes. The bigger pieces might take a tad bit longer. But that is it. So the chicken is now nice and fried. A lot of chicken flavor. We can move on to the noodles. The next up for our soup, I'm just going to, or the last step as well, is the noodles. So I'm just going to bring some water to a boil. Well, I've already done that. I'm just going to put like 1 portion in now. Should be more than enough for one. So when you got a nice texture on your noodle, it should be quite soft, but still a little bit of a firmness to it. It should be ready. So we can take it out. I'm just going to put a few sprigs in there. Not too much. There we have it, a very simple chicken noodle soup. And as always, the proof is in the taste. I must say, I think it looks beautiful. I hope it tastes the same. So I usually give as a compliment to the dish some lemon or lime and some chili. Add in a little, those are big pieces. And then just a squeeze of lime. And that break of acidity really makes a difference. Oh, that chili already got in there. Yes, very, very nice. I like the broth. The amount of chicken you taste is incredible. You would not believe it. Okay, so let's try it with a little bit of chicken. Oh, that rice noodle is also cooked perfectly. Yes, I didn't expect this spiciness. That's really nice. This is so healthy. If you're feeling a cold, if it's getting winter by you, this is what you want to be eating. Even though it's a hot dish, it's a hot soup, like I think it's still so fine for like summer days or when it's hot outside because of the freshness of it. Like the noodles, rice noodles aren't as heavy as like flour noodles, and like the chicken, the coriander, it's all very fresh. So even on a hot day, I'll eat this, and it's yummy. So if you like this video, please click like on it, subscribe to our channel, and comment anything you would like us to try and cook. And if you try this at home, please comment and tell us how it went. So till next time, I'm going to say goodbye and enjoy the rest of my soup.